Welcome back to the BoshNRoll channel. Today I'm playing Duel Commander, and this league was submitted by a son as a Christmas present to his father, and Tuvasa the Sunlit is one of his dad's signature decks. TJ suited, this is your deck. Merry, very belated Christmas. Tuvasa the Sunlit is an Enchantress / Bogle, which is a cool thing to go together. Enchantresses are effects that you draw cards when you play enchantments, and Bogels are sticky creatures that it's fun to pile enchantments onto. And Tuvasa gets bigger for each enchantment you control, and you draw a card for the first enchantment you cast every turn. And it's Bant, which is one of my favorite color combinations. It's impossible to get this whole deck on the screen, but we've got a bunch of lands that make the colors we want, a bunch of cheap enchantments to trigger Tuvasa, some mana dorks to get her out quicker. Him? I don't know. Merfolk. Tuvasa out quicker. And then a bunch of sick enchantments to pile on later. We have a bunch of other enchantresses in the deck. There's Sithis, there's Argothian Enchantress, Setessan Champion, gang's all here. And then some interaction to protect your stuff, Force of Negation, Daze. I will note that there was a Force of Will in the Moxfield list I was sent, which is banned in one version of Duel Commander and not banned in the other after the format breakoff, I guess, that happened a few months back. There's a website that lists it as legal and a website that lists that it's not, and MTGO wouldn't let me play it. So I did replace it with Island Sanctuary, a card that was in the Moxfield considering list, and a card that I was just excited to see being played anywhere. I could never ever beat this card in the 90s at the lunch table. 1 and a white enchantment. If you would draw a card during your draw step, instead you may skip that draw. If you do, until your next turn, you can't be attacked except by creatures with flying and or island walk. Do you get it? It's an island, so you have to be able to swim or fly to get to it. Pretty smart, Richard Garfield. Yeah, just looking at the Duel Commander metagame, it appeared like there were a lot of white attacking style decks that this should be quite good against. I'm not going to go card by card here. It's a bunch of sweet enchantments, a bunch of sweet enchantresses, and a bunch of Bogles to carry them, including Slippery Bogle himself. Let's do it. This is Tuvasa the Sunlit. I'm on the play in round 1. I'm playing against Lumra Bellow of the Woods. Bellow of the Woods. I assume this is some sort of combo deck. I am going to keep because I have some cheap enchantments and access to an Enchantress. There are a number of Surveil lands I have access to with this Marsh Flats. I'm likely going to lead on Lush Portico with this, try to find my third land, get something going. Lumra is Vigilance Reach 0/0, power and toughness equal to the number of lands you control. When it enters mill 4, return all lands from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped. I know this is a Fringe CEDH archetype. It's also a card that I've seen occasionally get played in Legacy. I'm going to dump Brilliant Wings because it's not a land, and that's what I'm trying to get to. Static Prison, okay. I'll get my Spirit Dancer in. This land's going to be pretty important next turn. Also, funny story, when I was uploading this list into Magic Online, it put a Lorwyn Eclipsed Hallowed Fountain in my deck instead of my Nice Dissension one. And I only have that because I rare drafted it. And then after rare drafting it, I found out it's worth like 0.08 ticks. Formidable Speaker is a very cool new card from Lorwyn Eclipsed. This, I expect this to see lots of EDH play and Fringe Legacy play. Being able to Green Sun Zenith to functionally draw a card, like filter some land or thing that's not good anymore into a real creature. The creature doesn't have to be green. It lets you take the scenic route to get where you want to go, which I think is really valuable. So Boreal Grazer is kind of scary that they tutored for any creature in the deck and they went for that. Yikes. Okay. Is this a setup turn where I develop Tuvasa or Champion? Or do I start applying pressure? What duel am I missing? I have the Savannah and the Tundra. Do I want the breeding pool? Or the tropical island? That gets me everything. I think I want to develop Tuvasa and try to have a bigger next turn. Because the fun thing about Enchantress is how many cards you get to draw. And if I start dumping out enchantments and try to nickel and dime them, against what I suspect is going to have some sort of combo finish. I don't think we're going to get very far. Ice Explorer, holy moly, that card's good. It dumps Hickory Woodlot. Oh, it hit a land. That's so unlucky for me. Oh, but they've already made their land drop. All right, that's fine. That's fine. Okay, big draws. The land. What does this give me options on? I can go Setessan Champion plus Static Prison, draw 2 cards. I could go Static Prison, Dillo Cloak. That draws 2 cards also. This one only triggers off the first one, and this one only triggers off auras. I think I want Ice Explorer to be gone. And I would also like to attack for damage this turn. I think I'm going to go Static Prison, Dillo Cloak. A Static Prison, take out the Explorer, Dillo Cloak, put it on Core Spirit Dancer, because that gets me the most stats. And I'm going to attack with my 4/6. They could just block my 3/3, but that doesn't mean... Okay, I am going to attack with my 3/3 as well. Like, if it touches butts with the 2/4, that's fine. That's a wash, but this stops them from being able to absorb damage if chump blocking is a place they want to be. It's just kind of a free way to push some damage through. That would have been a massive combat blowout if they had Force of Vigor, but I don't think I'm beating that anyway. Okay, are there any spells in the deck, or is this Force of Negation going to rot? Untapping Hickory Woodlot pushes a mana forward. That's awesome. Spelunking. Okay. That card not only seems very good, but also is literally a target in a spot where I'm not sure if I'll ever get one again. That seems really good with Hickory Woodlot. Pit of Offerings. Never seen this card in my life. Enters tapped. When it enters, exile up to 3 target cards from graveyards. Tap, add 1 mana of the exile's card colors. Alright, that's cool. They got the full Bant special over there. Can we keep the party going? Invisible Stalker. That's not really the party. I could go Setessan Champion and then rip off a Seam Rip and just kind of hope it does anything. I mean, it's going to whiff, but it will draw some cards and put damage on the board. Okay, Setessan Champion, Seam Rip, draw a card, then on enters, draw a card. Boseju's actually nice. Because if they're valuing that Hickory Woodlot, or if they go to untarget something, like a land could be important here. All right, opponent's at 8, and off you go. If they try to do some trick where, like, obviously putting lands into their graveyard with Lumra is not solving any problems, but if they like think they have a certain amount of mana, if they try to Formidable Speaker a land, I can pick it off in response. Expedition Map. Okay, what dope-ass land can you get here? Glacial Chasm. Oh yeah, hell yeah, Boseju. What's up, brother? Okay, I mean, that is exactly what I wanted out of my life. Right, I'll Boseju your Glacial Chasm in the end step, and is the game over. Basic Forest, access to 3 mana here. Staggering Insight gets me a draw 3, because it is also an aura. And flying. Right, this one already tramples. This one... Setessan Champion, I also lose a draw if they kill it, but I think it's fine. Okay, white and blue. And let's try to end the game. Sithis. Stern Scolding. Sithis is, in fact, an enchantment. I could have drawn another card here, but they've had enough. Funny thing about Stern Scolding is that Lumra's power and toughness is functional in all zones. It's a star, so it always, in all zones, has power and toughness equal to your lands. So if they do something like sack a bunch of their lands, anticipating Lumra, I can then Stern Scold it, because it'll be a 0/0. I don't know. Just thinking about the lines. Sideboarding is fake news, so I'm just going to hit submit and go back in. I like playing this format because it's full of cards I recognize, but I don't really know the context because I'm not a dual commander grinder. I am going to keep this one. One thing I do know about dual commander is that force spikes are busted. Alright, well, they just got worse. I can fetch basic planes and put Delighted Halfling on thin ice. Yeah, I think that's fine. That does make the days in my hand a lot worse, while speeding up their plan. Those are 2 things I don't want. Aftermath Analyth, absolute banger. Multi-format staple. Milled 3 lands got me, including Blast Zone. That's going to be good against me. A Tropical Island, and I will Malevolently Rumble. Wild Growth versus Brilliant Wings. Brilliant Wings is enchant creature, has flying and hexproof. And whenever a creature enters, I can pay 1 to move it over. I don't really need more mana here. Yeah, I'll take the Brilliant Wings. And I'll pass. I can Daze here. Urza Saga. That's an enchantment. That's my thing. Put this away right now. Put it back in your hand. I don't want to see it. Insidious Fungus. There's a fungus among us. Yeah, this is a disenchant, which is good against my deck. Okay, I am going to fetch a Tundra and play Tuvasa. White, blue, green. And we'll see how and when they want to use this fungus. They might be planning on tapping out for the rest of the game. Yeah, okay, just getting your Delighted Halfling back right now. There's this weird interaction with Echoing Deeps and Aftermath Analyst. It may enter as a copy of any land in a graveyard, and if it hasn't entered yet, then it's still in the graveyard when you activate Aftermath Analyst. It's return all cards from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped. So Echoing Deeps, as it enters the battlefield, can still see Eye of Ugin and Blast Zone in the graveyard. It might even be able to copy itself. I don't know why you'd do that, but it might be strictly legal. Hey, that's not a legend. That looks like a great place to put a Daze. There is nothing that could have been done. I had to play around it. And it is better if it resolves and you still have a land drop, but wow, that felt nice. Okay, this triggers once per turn, which means Brilliant Wings on their turn draws me a card. I'm going to go Alseed of Life's Bounty, and then Rancor, and then I'll play Tundra and represent the Brilliant Wings, which I can cast off of Eldrazi Spawn. So it does appear like my opponent's about to hit some very important milestone that I'm pretty worried about. The Saga pops this turn. They have access to Expedition Map and Aftermath Analyst, and they're at Lumra mana, and it's uncounterable. Amulet of Vigor. Yep, that card's quite good. Is this some deterministic combo here? If they get Lotus Field, is that lethal? They played a Forest. Well, that's probably good news. All right, well, Lumra happens. It's uncounterable. How devastating is this going to be? Vigilance and Reach. And Reach is messed up. Why can a bear reach the sky? Is it just talking about how big it is? Explain it to me, Flavor Judge. Okay, they did the Echoing Deeps trick. The Echoing Deeps entered as a copy of Hickory Woodlot, which is a card that came into play alongside it after being milled over by Lumra. Crazy stuff. Lumra is 9/9. I'm going to Wings in the end step. Just trying to get an extra card anywhere I can. All right, another land. Good news. Something's happening in the upkeep. Last card in hand is Talon Gates. Gains protection from the color of your choice. Well, that one... Oh, this has hexproof. All right, that's fine. Yeah, okay. It has proper hexproof. Talon Gates does not do anything here. Nothing important, anyway. All right, they can phase out my Alseed of Life's Bounty. Static Prison. Okay, if I hit Lumra with this, it can either go to the command zone or they can just blast zone it away. I don't want any of that to happen. All right, I'm going to play Static Prison because I need the draw. Though I do have to recognize that this could die at instant speed. Arcane Flight, another thing that dies at instant speed. I guess I'll target Expedition Map. Is that what I want to be doing here? They only have access to 2 mana right now, though. All right, I might use this as an opportunity to attack, even though I think this particular commander in exile is not necessarily great news. It does let me get one big sweet attack through. And if they blow up the Blast Zone, they have to take Amulet of Vigor, Delighted Halfling, and Expedition Map with it. If I play out of 4th land, they can Tectonic Edge me, which is likely to happen twice next turn. So there is a timing trick. You can only activate this if your opponent has 4 or more lands, but it still resolves if they have 3 or less afterwards. So they could Tech Edge target one of my lands, in response blow Blast Zone, which brings back Tectonic Edge, which can blow up another one of my lands. The lands do come in tapped, and the Amulet of Vigor would be dead. I think I have to save this Arcane Flight. It's worth 2 damage right now, but it gets swept up in the Blast Zone. Yeah, I'm going to draw a card with Waterlog Grove before my opponent can tech edge me. Brainstorm, that's actually kind of sick here. All these fetch lands. All right, attack my opponent's life points directly. Okay, they are Hellbent, but they have access to a lot of tech. Mana's being spent in the end step. Oh, returning Worldbreaker to hand. I didn't even see them mill that over. That's sweet. Okay, so that can exile a land, enchantment, or artifact, I think. And it's a giant reach creature that doesn't have any color, so I can't name it with Alseed. Yep, Worldbreaker. This gets back the Lumber without needing the Blast Zone. Hell yeah. Why did these lands just go to the graveyard? That's weird. Why did that happen? Were they down to one charge already, and I just missed it? I accept if true. Whatever. Okay, stuff's happening. Go nuts. Have some fun out there. 5/7 Devoid Reach. Expedition map. Getting Lazotep Quarry. This can sacrifice creatures to add mana. That can put Lumber back in the command zone. Exile target creature card, mana value X from your graveyard. Make a 4/4 copy of it. Getting Ice Till Explorer. Okay. They're getting very close to some sort of unstoppable engine. They might be there already. If I knew more about the format, I might have conceded by now. Lazotep Quarry, Mills Worldly Tutor. I think I should Brainstorm in the end step because it's more likely that I need all my mana than anything else here. I think mana is going to gate me more than access to cards next turn. Lush Portico, Verdant Catacombs put back. There's also a Rashadan Port in play. And this Blast Zone can be worth a ton of mana, or a ton of damage. I got a fetch here. I'll get Breeding Pool. Who's breeding in there? Seam Rip. Again, it gets Blast Zoned. I could target Aftermath Analyst, and at least that's not in play right now. Alright, I'm going to Seam Rip. I think my window is closed here. Eaten by Piranhas. Fun. What does this do? Enchanted creature loses all abilities and is a 1/1 skeleton. Okay. I'll exile your Aftermath Analyst. And Lumber is still is 14/14 with Reach. That's way bigger than what I've got going on. All right. I've had enough. I tap out. Okay. Well, don't let them get to the end game is the lesson there. I will keep this. Prof's Memory is a sweet one. So is Fertile Ground. I love that card just in general. Arboreal Grazer, busted in every format. Mox Diamond. Blocks Diamond. Strictly better than Mox Diamond because it's also a 0/3. While doing every other thing the same. I would like Lush Portico. Silhana Ledgewalker. I'm not interested in that, but it's not advancing my plan enough for me to be happy about it. I think I have to Fertile Ground this turn. When that land is tapped, it makes an extra. Drawing a land next turn is going to be really important because that lets me Tuvasa plus trigger Havenwood Battleground. I did not counter the Utopia Sprawl because I know their deck has Amulet of Vigor in it. Okay, that's a land. It counts. Play Otawara. I'm going to go blue, green, white. Blue, green, white. Play Tuvasa. Put Hyena Umbra on it. That gives it a bunch of stats and a buffer. If it would die, the Totem Armor is destroyed instead. Or Umbra Armor. I guess they changed that. Is that culturally offensive, the word totem? It must be. Prof's Memory plus Sylvan Library, that's a vibe. This is a lot of damage coming fast. It's just how heavily can they get in front of me before that point? A land drop plays Lumber here and gets back Havenwood Battleground. Elking Lumber is pretty sick though, because it's still in play. It's like removing it sends it back to the command zone where they can do the thing again, making it an elk. It's just in play as a 3/3. Prof's Memory draws me 2 cards when I play it. One's for Tuvasa, one for itself. That's 2 looks at the land to cast Oko, 3 with my draw step. A Fabled Passage. That's another land that hits the 6 mana threshold and comes back when they Lumbra. Yeah, looks like it's go time. Big Bear. Alright, I hope the mill isn't too devastating. Oh, okay. That looks like almost all lands were hit, and it milled over a useful card from the graveyard. Awful. Terrifying. Alright, come on, land for Oko. Okay, I drew a land for Oko, but it's a land that I'd prefer not to play if I don't have to, because it does other things too. Okay, this can tap for blue-green, so I'm going to lead on Prof's Memory. Cartouche of Knowledge. All right, Boseiju has to be a Boseiju then. If I Oko first, I might have messed up. This can only get to 7/7, but it does have first strike. Oh, and Prof's Memory is going to happen. So I've already drawn 2 cards this turn, so this will be 7/7 anyway. Okay, that's actually great, because I don't want to Cartouche here. Attack with my 7/7. You also have a 7/7. Blocking with that one. That's good news. Now I can Elk Lumra. Oko. Target thing is a 3/3. Pass the turn. It's Nature's Rhythm. Such a good mill over. It can harmonize some powerful thing into play. Exploration. Tree of Tails from hand. This is 4 plus. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, they could get a 7 drop out of their deck here. And Lumber not having reach means when I give my Tuvasa flying next turn, they won't be able to tangle with it. All right, Nature's Rhythm for 6. Is Primeval Titan legal in this format? We're about to find out. Hell yeah. Okay. Next turn's going to be scary. Can I win this turn? We've seen Glacial Chasm in the deck. How many answers do I have to that? Unfortunately, I had to play that Boseiju last turn. Seems like not a whole lot is the answer. But they do have to continue to pay life or continue to loop it out of the graveyard, neither of which they have infinite access to right now. I don't have any amulet tricks like a Simic Growth Chamber to bounce my Boseiju back to my hand. Okay, Glacial Chasm is here. Mirror Pool can copy stuff. Lazatep Quarry. Dang, that one's really good. All right, now they have unlimited Lumras, and I'm in big trouble. Shodden Port, my land that taps for 2. That's so fucked. Okay, draw. Where would I like to start? Probably Cartouche? Or is it Malevolent Rumble? Rumble could pay out even more. All right. Malevolent Rumble. Calyx Guided by Fate. When Calyx or enchanted creature you control deals combat damage to a player, you make it totally. All right, well, that's not going to happen. Brilliant Wings. Meltstrider's Resolve. Fights up to 1 target creature an opponent controls. Okay. I like a fight. Okay. I will take the Meltstrider's Resolve, because that lets me kill the Primeval Titan, so they can't start copying it. Do they have Yavimaya in play? They don't. They have Urborg. Bummer. I need an extra green here to do everything I want to do. Fetch. If I get Basic Forest, that turns on the Onthan Ice in my hand. My first draw of the turn. Fight Primeval Titan. Light Pause. That's a next turn problem. Yeah, exiling Lumra just makes it even easier for them to... Or it uses a card in my hand for no real gain. I guess I'm just making a food token. I could have Elked my Eldrazi. Maybe that's good. Alright, I will make Tuvasa even bigger. I am just going to play out Light Pause, actually. I don't know what it's going to take to win this game, but I don't think playing around removal is the answer. Summoner's Pact. Is that how I win this game? They forget to pay their pact. Horizon Explorer. Lands you control enter untapped. Okay, is this an infinite loop? Arid Archway. When this enters, return a land you control to its owner's hand. If another desert was returned this way, surveil 1. Okay, so they're copying Lumra, which should legend rule, right? Yeah, this is still a legendary creature named Lumra, even though it's an elk, which kills that one, which puts it in the command zone, which is where you want it, and off you go. Yeah, is this just infinite Lumras with Mirror Pool? Is that how this works? I believe we've found the end game. But then what happens? All right, I'm going to F6 and figure it out. If I'm just wasting my opponent's time, I'm sorry, but also, how do they win? That is a necessary component to this. Because the Mirror Pool is access to just everything that's you mill your deck and they're all in play. Okay, Talent Gates phases out Tuvasa, so they need to give their squad haste. That's the way I lose, or take an extra turn after this one. I don't think green can do that. I'm sure they've won. I just am interested for educational purposes. They also have infinite life because of the brokers and Cabretti hideouts in their graveyard. They've copied Nissa, Resurgent Animist. This will tutor an elf or elemental on the next Lumra copy, and it will make them tons of mana. Lots of triggers. Scouring Storm Soul. Oh, this is Sandman, right, from Spider-Man, but this is the universe's Omen Path version. Okay, that doesn't have haste. If the desert is in the deck that pings me when it enters, that would do it. They could also just get some dominating, overwhelming advantage, destroy all my lands somehow, and then win. Like, just pass the turn and bet that me with no permanence is good enough. I have enough basics that looping Boseiju won't leave me without any mana. Yeah, I don't know. They just phased out Lumra, which must mean the plan is to keep it alive, and they're done looping and they're going to pass the turn and just bet that Glacial Chasm will keep them alive for a round, which it will. Don't get me wrong, it definitely will. Okay, I've been given a turn. My permanents are small, even though their permanents are large. Porting my land. A light pause. When an aura you control enters, if you cast it, you may search a library for an aura card with mana value less than or equal to that aura with a different name than each aura you control and put it onto the battlefield. Is there something like any damage you take is dealt to this creature kind of thing? Island Sanctuary would be the nuts, but is not an aura. Shelter by Ghost doesn't do it. Eaten by Piranhas. Yeah, they phased out the creature. That was smart. Yeah, I'm in the market for like a pariah kind of thing. There's nothing that makes damage unstoppable, like a flaring pain, that kind of effect. I can, or I don't have an aura with flash. What am I talking about? Okay, what can I do? I can play Cartouche of Knowledge, draw 2 cards, and hope that does anything. Okay, I'll do that. I draw a card for that. I draw a card when it enters. I'm going to draw before I tutor. Shard Mage Rescue. Oh, I can get any... Oh no, this is an aura. All right, never mind. I thought I could get any enchantment for a second, but Abundant Growth is an aura. It just doesn't go on a creature. There's a number of ways here to draw a card, which might be what I need to do. And this does enter attached to Light Pause. All right, I'm going to get Sheltered by Ghosts. That can at least deal with the 25-25. Elk Nissa. Is Nissa even a bigger problem than Horizon Explorer? No, I'm going to Elk Horizon Explorer. And this is a 0/0 because it's an exile, right? That is how that works. Glacial Chasm is still in play, which reads, prevent all damage that would be dealt to you. Okay, I am going to pass the turn and be dead, I guess. End step Mirror Pool targeting that guy. So they get a version that is not an elk. They have to pay for a pact and they have to sack Glacial Chasm. 24-24, that's pretty big. Targeting Primeval Titan in the graveyard, okay. You've got a Primeval Titan. Rogue's Passage, let's go. Okay, that's sick. And they got Tireless Provisioner out of the deck from the Nissa trigger. Yeah, I can draw a card and tutor a 1-drop enchantment out of the deck. I don't think there's one that helps here. Attached to Light Pause is such a beating. All right, GG's. Sorry to drag that out. I'm sure that wasn't thrilling content, but I'm learning. On to the next round. The BoshNRoll channel is brought to you by Tales of Adventure. TOAMagic.com has almost 100,000 unique cards in stock. They offer free track shipping on every order, plus next day or 2-day options when you have an event coming up fast. They offer on-site pickup at major Magic events throughout the US, so you're never scrambling before your tournament. Stop by their booth to buy, sell, or trade at upcoming regional championships, Magic Con, Spotlight Series, and more. I love their selection of individually scanned high-end cards that show you exactly what you're buying. And the best part is saving 5% on every order with promo code BOSH. From Ancestral Recall to Zombie Master, get what you need quickly and in one place at TOAMagic.com. Eternal lives here. I'm on the draw in round 2. I'm going to keep this hand. It has a lot of mana acceleration. Terra Magical Adept. This is a 5-color commander because the Saga part on the back is 5 colors. or it has 5 colored mana symbols in it, which counts in Commander. I know this is a CEDH archetype. I don't know exactly what it does in Duel Commander. Mill 5 cards, put an enchantment card milled. Man, everyone's on my corner. Can I just play my own enchantments in peace? Alright, that untapped land is huge. That's the difference between turn 2, Tuvasa kicking the engine in versus not. And drawing Tundra there is even perfect because I had to fetch Basic Forest to play Bird, and that gives me all the colors. They're getting a Portico in response to birds. Sure. Legal. Royal Treatment's an interesting card. Target creature you control gains hexproof until end of turn, and then put a Royal Roll on it. Putting a Royal Roll on it is an enchantment entering the battlefield, but this is an instant that generates the enchantment, so it doesn't trigger traditional enchantresses that trigger off casting an enchantment spell, but it does trigger a Cetessan Champion, and it does make Tuvasa bigger. Malevolent Rumble. Sicko. Fear of Missing Out. Inquisition of Kozilek. Oh yeah, looks like we've leaned all the way into the 5-color business here. They can't take Intuition. They took Polluted Delta. All right. Ethereal Armor. Okay. Blue, white, green. There it is. What we're here for. Shields are completely down right now. If they just have Shock, my commander is dead, and it's going to take me many turns to redeploy it. Yep. There it is. And I could have waited a turn to give it Royal Treatment. Maybe I was supposed to do that. Maybe that's just a giant spew. I would accept if true. All right, milled over and hit Leyline Binding, or there's Fear of Missing Out. There are 2 enchantment options here. Got back Leyline Binding. Ooh, a Bogle. All right, now I have somebody to wear these pants. A land on top would be nice. Tamiyo. I am not super interested in Tamiyo. It is a blue card to go with this force, but I don't think that's where my energy should be placed right now. Blade Cover Scout and Ethereal Armor on this, leaving up the Royal Treatment. All right, Bogle is in. It's big enough to beat Terra in combat, 4-2, and I have a 2/2 first strike. Royal Treatment would help versus a sweeper because it would give this +2/+2, but it shouldn't need hexproof because it already has it. But I can protect my bird if they try to kill that. Leyline Binding can exile any non-land permanent, so they could take the armor itself and make my scout into a baby. Okay, so pushing the Terra here, I could block and try to draw out the thing. I could still... I'm not going to do that. Like, I could trade Glade Cover Scout plus Royal Treatment for Terra right now and get the binding out, but I would rather just take damage. If I untap, I can cast Force of Negation. I have already learned a very important lesson about protecting the queen. I could have just waited a turn and shrugged off their lightning bolt and had my engine running. Buried Alive, hell yeah. No way this goes good for me. Put 3 creatures from your deck into the graveyard. And the flip side of Terra, she flips for 6 mana, and then it goes 1, 2, and 3. Or create a token that's a copy of target non-legendary enchantment, gains haste if it's a saga, put up to 3 lore counters on it. And then the last one is make 10 mana and flip her. Okay. Lage, Royal Gorger Dragon, and Detective Phoenix. Okay. All scary. Hellseed of Life's Bounty. I think I have to leave up Force here, which means putting Rancor on my scout is the best use of my turn. Attack for 5. The race is on. They don't have Domain because they're missing Island, which means I'm currently in the clear from Leyline Binding. If they just tap out for Flage here, I'll use Royal Treatment to protect my bird, and then try to tee off on their face next turn. Oh, wow. Okay, they just don't want to play against a Bogle. That concession seemed very strange to me. But that's fine. Let's play. Let's go. Oh, wow, they don't want to play against Bogels at all. Fair enough, we're on the board. On to the next round. This video is sponsored by Moxfield.com, the easiest way to build Magic decks online. Moxfield supports over 30 formats, including Legacy and everything else you'll see on this channel. There's multiple customizations so you can interact with your deck how you want. Views such as text, grid, or stacks, and groupings like type, subtype, color, color identity, even artist. The site offers light mode, dark mode, and so much more. However you want to see your deck, Moxfield can provide it for you. Follow my Moxfield to keep up with the channel and what I'm playing in paper. I'll see you there. I'm on the play in round 3 versus Cloud. This is, according to MTG Goldfish, one of the top decks. This is one of the reasons I put the Island Sanctuary in my deck. I am going to keep... I know this hand only has 1 land in it, but it functions quite well on that 1 land. And I just have to hope that this Birds of Paradise doesn't get Swords to Plowshared. A Plains. Okay. Any untapped land here sends me into the Stratosphere. But even if I don't draw 1, it's okay. Alright. I think I want to invest Siddhis and try to have a best turn 2 possible. If I get Mana Tithe, that's disappointing. Yep, worst possible outcome of missing my land drop and them having the maximum punish. It's alright, we're still playing. I can turn Cloud into a frog if I need to. Hey, March of Otherworldly Light. They see the weakness and they're trying to exploit it. I still have Abundant Growth as a redraw. Okay, now I'm starting to get worried. And got Cloud in underneath my Wash Away. I get to search for an equipment. So this game might end up in the trash. Just the combination of Mana Tithe plus missing land drop plus removal spell on Bird was a lot to manage. I would keep the hand again, though. Sword of Fire and Ice. Oh yeah, we're in. We're back in, baby. I'm at least kind of playing Magic. I hit a land drop. Give me that. Cloud gets to bonk here. Crystal Vein. Interesting they didn't go for it. Oh, Drannith Magistrate is legal in this format? That seems crazy. But okay. Yeah, if they had just played an equipped sword this turn, I am obliterated. Heli Trooper. When this creature attacks, another target creature gains flying. Equip abilities that target this creature cost 2 less. Okay. Well, I've hit my land drops. But this Sword of Fire and Ice is quite a problem. Geist of St. Traft does not get hit with Sword of Fire and Ice. Does bash back. Okay. Fetch. I think I want Tundra. And I can tap this without losing life because of Abundant Growth. Alright. The Ghost with the most. See if I can race this Sword of Fire and Ice. They're not gaining any life. They are doing a shitload of damage and dealing and drawing a lot of cards. But they're not gaining life. Oh no, Winter Moon. Alright. Now I'm dead. Equip Sword of Fire and Ice for free. Nasty. I take a million beats here. I'm just dead. Okay. The Winter Moon definitely got me. Okay. Submit my deck. Hope I don't stumble. So that same game, if I draw the land, or if they don't have the Tithe, like if I draw the land, Siddhis resolves, and then I immediately draw some more cards off of Siddhis. So, I mean, yeah, Mana Screw, typical Magic the Gathering. I'm going to mulligan this hand. All right, this one works. Keep this. And do I need 3 lands if I have Noble Hierarch? Do I need Invisible Stalker if I have Tuvasa and Siddhis? Invisible Stalker kind of is giving my opponent a taste of their own medicine, though. Do I trust card draw or beats more is the question, the real question. Because I could just put Dillo Cloak on Stalker and go to town. All right. I'm going to trust in card draw over beats. A pass. Esper Sentinel. All right. The Esper Sentinel actually is paying out pretty hard here. Because if I want to play this Ethereal Armor, which I kind of do, we both draw a card. I could also just attack for 1. Whatever. Let's both draw a card. I can play this game. Alright, can't pay for this. We both draw a card. Ooh, okay. Fight Spell. That's a good one. White is a good removal color, of course. So this is not necessarily safe, even though she's huge. Okay, going for Cloud. Getting Colossus Hammer. Oh, baby. What are we doing with that? Okay. I've got some options here. I can fight one of these creatures and pay as a development turn, or I could tap out for Tuvasa, fight the creature, and get 2 draws. A Cloud versus Esper Sentinel. What am I more worried about? Hey, I'm going maximum greed here. I'm going to get a Plains. Then I'll play Tuvasa. And I'm going to fight. Who am I going to fight? I think I can start paying for Esper Sentinel next turn. If it's an 11/11, I can never pay for it, but that's fine. Okay, I'm going to put Fight Spell on Tuvasa. Opponent gets to draw another card. Solitude would be the biggest beating here. Daybreak Coronet. Okay, race is on. I think I want to fight Esper Sentinel. Cloud can just come back. I'm going to fight Esper Sentinel, and I'm going to try to bet that the size of my creatures can help keep Cloud at bay. Attack for 5, and the race is on. Even if they have an attach thing here, right? Enlightened Tutor. So this could get the thing that was in the modern deck, the hammer deck, Sigarda's Aid. And they could go into Colossus Town, but I think I am successfully racing that. Sigarda's Aid. Here's a Saga. Sigarda's Aid. Yeah, it's the next equipment I'm worried about, not necessarily the Colossus Hammer. I take 12 here. I'm not going to block because they can just kill my commander and still do all that they were going to do. Okay, and then I have Daybreak Coronet and Dillo Cloak. I have to draw an untapped mana off of my first draw to get the double life gain. All right, this one's going to be tight. On Thin Ice. Oh, all right, it just became less tight. Okay, on Thin Ice. Target my land. I draw 2. Wingspan Stride. Take that Cloud out of here. Daybreak Coronet. Sithis is larger in the ethereal armor, just doing a lot here. Flash Backup Hexproof. I like that, I think, more. All right, well, this is 14. I just need 1 more damage and they're dead. So I'll find 1 more damage. How about that? Tundra, play Wingspan Stride on Tuvasa. Now I'm diversifying because if they do have something like Solitude or some free fog I don't know about in the format, I don't want all my eggs in one basket. Okay, sweet. We did it. Just casually racing a Colossus Hammer nut curve. Every time the sideboard screen loads, I'm like about to make adjustments, then I realize that's not how this format works. Stern Scolding and Daze doing a lot here. I'm going to keep. I would prefer if they didn't lead on Esper Sentinel, but if they do, I'll figure it out. Mother of Runes. Okay, that one's not as bad as Esper Sentinel in this environment where I have counter spells and not removal spells to fight. Basic Island. I think I still want to lead on Trop because if I draw a Mana Dork, I'd like to be able to cast it and still do my Lush Portico. I'm going to Scold Cloud. That costs 4 next time it's attempted. Misty Rainforest. Oh, I'm already holding a Surveil land, which is what I do with that, so I'll use it. Seam Rip. That is good against some of the cheaper equipment, but bad against Mother of Runes. I'm going to dump it. An opponent with the land go. That's good for me. Meticulous Archive. I actually love that because that lets me leave up days and develop in a way that I'm happy about. Critters? Yeah. Or I need to get Evasion somehow. I'll still keep that because the size is just undeniable. Well, my plan here is to hardcast Days on Cloud and then play my commander with protection available next turn. Lion Sash. Playing around it. Interesting that that was not played last turn. It makes me think they don't have, or just drew it. Okay. Green, blue, white. Leaving up Shard Mage's Rescue. As white is a color full of removal. And I can still Daze. Casting it the normal way. Razorgrass Field, playing around Daze. Clever. Voice of Victory. Bummer. I guess I want to respond with Shard Mage's Rescue, because that's not going to matter anymore. And I might as well draw a card and make my commander bigger. Static Prison. Okay, that's interesting, because I could attack with my commander, they use Mother of Runes to absorb the damage, then Static Prison actually kill something. This attack is too suspicious. Like, if they destroy my Shard Mage's Rescue, Tuvasa dies. No thanks. Okay, we've got Feather of Flight, which draws a card and gives flying. That's really big. That means I don't even have to do the Mother of Runes game. But whatever card they were trying to get me with there is still alive right now. All right, I'm going to do a Feather of Flight. Gilded Goose drawn. Okay, I am actually getting into some action here. I can play Alseid of Life's Bounty, and then Ethereal Armor. Or this one first. You're not the only mother with runes, though giving this Tuvasa protection from white is pretty tough right now. I'm going to fetch Tundra. I'll play Ethereal Armor. Just going to try to do as much damage as I can on the turn where I'm allowed to do anything. Okay, 11-10. Flying First Strike. And the Alseid does give target creature or enchantment protection from the color of my choice, so giving my Feather of Flight protection from white could actually crack this game open. Okay, they're just exiling that. Dazing here doesn't matter. Okay, good play. It's gone. And they have Voice of Victory, so whatever happens, happens right now. Gemstone Caverns right on time. Skyclave Apparition taking my commander is pretty tough. It's a little awkward here because Gilded Goose might have been lethal this turn if I had known to have it in play, but they didn't kill the Alseid until my end step. I didn't have that info at the time I needed to make that decision. Opponent is Hellbent right now, though. This can get 3 points bigger. That's a lot. Mother of Runes can't give protection from colorless, so Ganjo is as live as possible. I'm at 9. Shelter by Ghosts, big game. Okay, Gilded Goose. I'll play that one. Makes a food. And then I'm going to Static Prison, targeting Mother of Runes, which puts them in the position of use it or lose it. And I don't care if they use it, because my real target this turn is Lion Sash. And my Goose is sheltered, exile Lion Sash. That's the 5/5. And I have a 1/2, a mighty 1/2 that I can put in front of their other shit. Do I actually just tap out here? Yeah, I think I do. A Ganjo is not what we're doing here. And just having a gigantic lifelink dumbass while my opponent's Hellbent seems like the way to go. Alright, go. Bet. Cloud costs 4. They could get a 1-drop equipment, and like something that plays and equips for 1, but I don't even know what that is. My Goose also has Ward 2 because of the words on all that glitters. Okay, it's Cloud time. I am 1 point short. I need an artifact or enchantment. Tuvasa is not herself an artifact or enchantment. Oh, wow. What a turn they just put together. They drew Sigarda's Aid and then Cloud tutored Colossus Hammer. This is fucked up. Okay. Well. Oh. This, they might have just punted. Because this makes the attackers, whether you like it or not, they have to come in tapped and attacking. If they put this on Skyclave Apparition, I can't do anything. But here, I can block one of these and gain 5 life. Wow! New life. Opponent got too excited. I mean, I still have to draw an artifact or enchantment. Deck, please. Don't do me like this. Big draws. I hate my life. Oh, and I can't even pay for this because I never got the energy. Wow, no justice in the world. Okay, how do I navigate this now? Yeah, they're just going to move. Or they can't move the Colossus Hammer. It costs fucking 8,000. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, that is not trivial to do. And it's now stuck on the wrong creature. So I'll play my Forest. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Play my Commander, who's a wonderful blocker. And so Gilded Goose. If I attack, I don't have my lifelink blocker back, but I don't need it if I'm at 4 and I can sack my food. I'm at 7. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, yeah, I'm going to attack, and I'm going to hope that they do not come up with another equipment. And this attack also, I don't even know if Ancient Tomb is legal, but I'm thinking of ways they could get to 8 mana here. Uh-oh, they're spending mana. Flicker Wisp. No! Stop drawing good cards! Alright, this flickers out my commander. If I hadn't attacked, I would survive, but I'd be mostly dead anyway. Don't put her in the command zone. I actually want her to come back this time. Okay. Opponent drew insane 2 turns in a row, made a huge mistake, and then was unpunished thanks to the top of the deck. Fair enough. That's Magic sometimes. GG's. That was a good battle. Alright, on to the next one. The BoshNRoll channel is proudly partnered with the Resleevables. In this YouTube series, hosts Patrick Sullivan and Patrick Chapin go set by set through Magic's past, leveraging their decades of experience as Pro Tour players and game designers to analyze the good, the bad, and the ugly of Magic's history. Each episode is a deep dive into the facts, mechanics, cycles, trivia, decks of the time, and historical context of the set. The hosts dig into notable cards of the era and their lasting impact today. Each set gets an award show where the hosts pick their favorite cards for categories such as Best, Worst, and Weirdest. And finally, give a letter grade for the set's overall success. Whether you want a history lesson or a nostalgia hit, The Resleevables has it at youtube.com/theresleevables. I'm on the draw in round 4 versus a Terra strategy. Here I am again with a 1-land, 1-mana dork thing versus 5-color deck. I think... what's the math on this, actually? 31 lands in the deck. So 1 in 3.3 cards in my deck is a land. If I use 2 lands between the fetch land and the land I get with it, that's 29 lands left in my 91 card deck. I'm on the draw. I don't have a draw engine that kicks in immediately if I hit, so I will mulligan this. Okay. Keep, and I think Boseiju goes away. Or no, the enchantments are kind of this deck's whole jam. Terra is an enchantment commander. I could bottom Avacyn's Pilgrim and just play fair. I could bottom Tamiyo. I could bottom Island. Alright, I'm gonna bottom Island and keep all my spells and trust that mana will arrive, because that's gone so well for me. My opponent says, hello, YouTube. Everyone say hello to Triac. Wild Growth, jealous. Alright, bottoming the land immediately rewarded. This should have been Polluted Delta because I'm getting a duel, and Flooded Strand could get 2 basics. I'll just have to own the fact that I have a worse fetch land in my hand. Command Tower, that taps for all lands, all mana types. Blind Flip Terra, Fear of Missing Out, delivered. Okay, I can play Tamiyo and leave up Boseiju. I could Sheltered by Ghost the Terra and start doing stuff. I could play Tuvasa. This time I don't have a protection spell I could sandbag. Yeah, I think using my mana better is the place to be here. Unlike last game where I had this decision and I made a mistake because I didn't wait a turn to protect it. I don't have protection anyway, so I'm just going to jam my engine. There it is. Don't have to play around days. Despite having every color of mana, they don't have an island. It's got a Wastewood Verge. That's more black mana. More green and black mana. All right, tapping out for Grief. Sheltered by Ghost is probably the take here. But I can cantrip either way. Terra gets a free swing off here. Certainly not interacting with that. Dillo! Alright, big Dillos. Rising Canopy and Dillo up Tuvasa. I now have an enormous beater that gains life, and I'm showing Boseiju. Boseiju's a bit worse than when they know about it, but I do have it. I'm at 18 and pass. I could have sequenced that in a way where I have Tamiyo in play, but I just feel like holding Boseiju up matters. Getting attacked for 7. Solitude. That one's pretty good. Yeah, gain a bunch of life here. Staggering Insight is staggeringly bad. Opponent has 10 power in play. One of their cards in hand is Fear of Missing Out. I could use the Boseiju to reinvest Tuvasa, just take a turn of getting my ass kicked, and then try to push back. Alright, I guess this whole Boseiju line is not happening. My mighty 1/1 commander's back. And a land lets Terra do the Terra thing. The Terra thing doesn't even seem very good on an empty board, though. Oh no. When this exiles up to 1 target creature you control, whenever this creature attacks for each opponent, put a... Oh yeah, and this does have haste. Yeah, that card's messed up. Alright, I'm in the hard lock now. No thanks. Okay. I just got Junded out. Yeah, is Terra just a 5-color Jund deck? Is that what it's doing? Okay, I will keep this one. Lush Portico plus Abundant Growth, see so many cards, and then I can have Washed Away up on the turn that it's Terra time. Unflinching Courage into the graveyard. It's not a land, it's gone. Those are the rules. Okay, Snow-Covered Island, and I'm going to Abundant Growth the island. Lands are set up. We're good to go. Fear of Missing Out. It seems like Terra players always have this card. I've played 3 games in my life against Terra, and all 3 of them had access to Fear of Missing Out. Okay, Scalding Tarn. I'm going to Seam Rip the FOMO. And here I can wash away Terra if they play it, and then fetch a Surveil land and try to develop the Geist. Counter target spell. That wasn't cast from my hand. And I'm going to get my Hedge Maze. Gilded Goose. I'm not in the market for that. Okay. Ghost with the most. And pass. They need an Edict or a Sweeper to deal with this. That's the power of Hexproof. Any aura that gets Daybreak Coronet going is great. Amphibian Downpour is not the aura I'm looking for. A big aura energy. Oko Thief of Grounds. That's not an aura. I do get to tee off for 6 here, and if they flash in some blocker, if they have like Endurance or some shit, I can downpour it. Beseiju my Seam Rip. Yeah, that qualifies. I would like the land, actually. That sounds great. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so I am intending to double spell this turn, so I should get an untapped Duel. All right, Savannah's in play. Fear of Missing Out, you get to discard a card. Amphibian Downpour. This is a card I play in normal EDH as well. Enchanted creature is a 1/1 frog with no abilities, and the spell has Storm, but no spells were cast before it. Okay. Successfully navigated that combat. And then second main, hope I don't get Spell Pierced with Big Oko. Create a food token and pass. Opponent's got 6 cards in hand. I've mostly spent what I'm going to spend. They're back at Terra Mana here. And that is the choice. That Fear of Missing Out still kicking around. Also, Fable the Mirror Breaker available now. Got back the Fable. Oh, deck. Why do you betray me so? Alright, I'm gonna turn my food into an elk. Cyber Cryptomancer. Not doing what I want here. It doesn't make Geist big enough. Okay. Trading off Terra. And I will redeploy Tuvasa. I guess the Cryptomancer helps me protect that one at least. Alright, I'll take it. I'll take it. 6 mana. Fable. Okay, deck, for real. It's time. An aura. No, no. Life is pain. Okay, super awkwardly bricking off here, but that is cost of doing business. When you're Enchantress deck, this is the nightmare scenario, is you can't enchant. I could push with Geist and use Cryptomancer to protect it, but that is not how I want to use Cryptomancer. I want to make sure Tuvasa's in play when I get to do other stuff. And Oko can exchange this food for that goblin next turn. Discarded 2 lands to Fable. But Johnny, hate that guy. Plenty of red permanents if they can flip it. It's a solid attack. I don't have good blocks. Main phase fetching Raucous Theater. They must have something in their hand that pays out graveyard stuff. Dumped an Endurance. That is a card I mentioned. That it could exist. Fatal Push. Alright. Crypto boy, this is what you've trained your whole life for. This is what you're for. This is your purpose. Save the queen. I put a +1 counter on this and it gets hexproof till end of turn. Hell yeah. And it worked. Parallax Wave, gross. Okay, well, that one's really good. It does not impact Geist of Saint Traft. Oh yeah, alright. Everything happening right when I need it to. Blue, white. Let's get things moving here. Cast that immediately before they come to their senses and exile it, but it's already drawn a card now. Damage is done. And Daybreak Coronet. First Strike, Vig, Lifelink. Those are all good things. I think I want to exchange, or do I want to Elk? I could Elk a Johnny, but they could wave it out. I could Elk the cat, then it's not a cat. That's interesting. I could trade the food for the cat. Then it gets waved out forever. but they don't have a cat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's still not enough damage to completely cook my Oko. And taking counters off Wave does seem reasonable, but having Oko seems reasonable too. Okay, I'm going to Elk the cat, so it's not a cat. And then Daybreak Coronet. I've waited my whole life for this moment. I will get Tuvasa into combat. It's not helping me anywhere else. And it's just going to get waved anyway. The wave can absorb angel damage, but this 6/6 with all the abilities is nice. I am actually going to leave Tuvasa under the Parallax wave, even though I could put it in the command zone. I want that back for free at some point, and I don't want to have to spend mana on it again. Waving out the angel, so they are trying to save damage here. Okay, I'm at 23. I have a giant hexproof monster. Fable is flipping this turn. Terra's back again. The graveyard has Fear of Missing Out and just milled over a Seal of Fire. That's pretty modest, all things considered. I got back Seal of Fire. Yeah, copying Wave for the rest of the game's not great. This is the best thing. I was just going to say, giving my Geist some sort of evasion is what I need to be doing here. And delivered. Signed, sealed, delivered. +1/+1 flying and draw a card. Happy with all that. And when it hits them, I draw a card because of Staggering Insight. I think I have to Elk Terra. I'm going to attack first. Their whole squad can't kill this guy because he has first strike. Oh, also, I just gave it flying. Right. That part, too. Still slurping out my angels. Command Tower. Kind of mid, but I'll take it. I'll play it out. And I'm going to Elk Terra, so it can't flip and start making copies of Parallax Wave. They could wave it out, then it comes back in the upkeep. And then... Okay, cool. Deal. And I guess I'll play this thing out. Who knows when a blocker is going to matter. Okay, they did wave Terra out in the end step, which means that Parallax Wave will die, Terra comes back, can put back Wave, but at least it doesn't flip, making a bunch of copies of Wave for free and be a 6/6. I briefly have my commander. Terra triggered... Oh, it's enchantment card milled this way. I've been thinking about this wrong the whole time. Right. Okay. Those of you who have typed angry comments, you were right. But they whiffed on that, and they can't just get back to Tide forever. Reflection only copies non-legends, so Terra and Ajani are both no good. Oh, this is the Superior Spider-Man online version. I can't interact, so whatever your best creature in your graveyard is, it's about to happen. There's a Solitude in there, there's an Emperor of Bones in there. Badgermole Cub doesn't seem very good, Dothy Voidwalker doesn't seem very good. Okay. They went with Solitude, which can pick off my commander, but the Geist is the important thing. They do also have the Reflection plus Solitude thing going now. I'm going to steal Reflection of Kiki Jiki with Oko next turn. That's the plan. And then maybe I can do anything after that point. This feels aggressive. I'm going to block. If they have some way to blow this out in combat, congratulations. Seems unlikely, though. Okay, they just valued that treasure over anything else that might have just happened. Okay, exchange control of target artifact, this food, for Reflection of Kiki-Jiki. Give me that. I couldn't do this earlier because they would have waved out the creature I stole. They get to exile my Halfling or Cryptomancer here. I will float a Commander Blue, Legendary Blue. All right, my commander costs at this point, are we at 5 or 7? 5. All right, not bad. I've completely lost track. Thank you, Magic Online, for knowing what's going on. Okay, I get to play this, and then I get to play Fertile Ground right away, which draws a card. Birds of Paradise. Mediocre. I just have lethal, don't I? What am I even... well, they made that weird attack to get a treasure, so I have to imagine they can block a flyer. But they do need something here, or they're dead. Oh, right, the food I just gave them. That doesn't save them. Exactly doesn't save them. Necromancy, oh, sick. Well, you got it. Is this like chump with endurance time? I guess so. Yeah, that works. Okay, endurance comes in. Because they cast Necromancy as an instant, the endurance goes away at the end of turn. but you're not dead. Okay, endurance is gone. Opponent goes to 4 from the Angel. And I will deploy Birds of Paradise and pass the turn. Reflection plus Saito Cryptomancer is pretty nice. That is a combo. Summon Yojimbo. Exile target artifact, enchantment, or tapped creature opponent controls. Dang. Taking out the Cartouche here is big. Yeah, Cartouche is the one I'm worried about, but I could see them thinking Daybreak Coronet is the important one. And they could take out Reflection, I guess. Okay, Daybreak Coronet considered. This is still a 4/4 flying. Seal of Fire, we knew about that one. That is not a target for Mental Misstep for me. I don't know what is, but I'm at 50 life. My creatures are 4/4s and 6/6s that I care about. They are dead on board to 2 different attackers. I guess I do need both attackers because of the food. All right, I will let you gain some life by blocking with my Dear Sweet Commander. The opponent's at 8. Okay, they're no longer dead on board. I can attack for 11 that I can see right now. And it's less if they use the Seal of Fire on the Reflection, which seems like the correct thing to do. All right, that's done. Tassiger. I wish I could misstep that. Flavor Judge. Okay, something that draws a card and gets the party going. High number, that'll do. Okay. I think I just want to stack my stats on my flyer. Draw a card for that. Arbor Elf. This is 9. Oh, they didn't leave up clue mana. Okay, we're good. We're good. That Tassiger cost them the 3 mana for the clue. They were dead without that. Nice. Okay, cool. Game 3. I like my hand just fine. Even have the Force and a blue card. The rarely seen together Force blue card. Ooh. That's pretty busted with Fertile Ground. All right, Arbor Elf, get in. Yeah, that's not where I'm going to put Force of Negation. That just feels like an aggressive use of stuff when I had this plan to just kind of carve out anyway. I'm going to play Core Spirit Dancer this turn because I would like to draw cards when I play Fertile Ground. It is an aura. If I play an Enchantress on turn 2 and an Enchantress on turn 3, hopefully one of them sticks. Worldly Tutor, game on. Well, Worldly Tutor for Eagles of the North is some Scotch tape keeping the world together kind of play. Yeah, you got it. Okay, this is not Domain because Blackleaf Cliffs is not a swamp or a mountain. I don't think this deck is going to punish non-basic lands. They don't seem like they could play a Winter Moon or a Blood Moon or any such thing. Okay, fetch. I'm just going to get a Tropical Island. And then I'm going to play Fertile Ground on my basic island. And this draws a card. I don't have any power or toughness in play. Or I don't have any power in play. I do have toughness. And I'm showing Beseiju, Fresh Start, or I could Force of Negation. We're on the control plan here. It's Terra time, which I now understand how it works. And they do have to hit Utopia Sprawl out of that. Okay, Blood Crypt is a swamp and the other thing. Ugh. All right. I'll play Plains and use that to summon Tuvasa. And I can Fresh Start targeting Terra and draw 2 cards at instant speed, should I want to do such a thing. 5 mana. Utopia Sprawl is fine. I could Beseiju that land in response, but they have the same amount of mana this turn, and it might be more useful next turn, or if they play Parallax Wave or one of the busted enchantments in their deck. Survival of Fittest, yuck. I don't really want to play against that card. I guess I have Beseiju in hand, so I don't have to. All right, I don't have to think too hard about this Force then. We're getting an attack. I was going to Fresh Start this thing this turn anyway, but now I have potentially a good block even. Though it's probably better off for me if that's just in play with no abilities. Yeah, I'm not going to block. It can be a -1/2 that can't flip. That's what you got. No blocks. Okay, now we're starting to cook. I could play Teferi. I have 6 mana. I could play Teferi. The thing is, I kind of want to leave up Force of Negation. And to do that, I'm going to put Sheltered by Ghosts on Core Spirit Dancer. and try to take the survival and see what they have to commit to in response. And if they have removal spell in response, I have Force of Negation for that. Ooh. Counter target spell. All right, do I put my counter here? I don't think I do. I still get to draw 2 cards, and then I can hold up Force plus still Besage the survival. Is there a blue land I can fetch with Verdant Catacombs left? Yes, I have all of the shock lands. That's fine. I guess I'd still rather play Marsh Flats. Okay, I'm going to attack for 3 with my commander, and then Besage the survival. There's no green mana showing, though they can't even use it in response. Lush Portico gets some selection in the end step, and then we pass. Opponent's got 2 cards in hand. I have Force up. I'm out of enchantments to draw cards with, but Teferi can draw cards. It could even bounce one of my enchantments in a pinch and just draw a bunch of cards. I kept the card on top. That sucks. Oh no! And what I'm doing doesn't interact with that. The graveyard has Oliphant in it. So this is an Oliphant with lifelink. All right, gotta make do with that, I suppose. The fairy can bounce the Oliphant. Psychic Frog. This is so many creatures. My interaction's Force of Negation. Why are you being mean to me? Yep, still attacking with this one because they would prefer it to die. I think leaving it back as a blocker is more likely to kill it than attacking with it. I'm going to get the last Surveil land that I have access to. Do not want this Misty Rainforest. I do want some enchantment to get things moving. That plays. Psychic Frog. Big problem. And I'll start with Teferi and see where that goes. Yeah, Frog drawing 2 cards a turn is not ideal. An Oliphant with lifelink I don't like either. I could bounce Fresh Start and move it over to Psychic Frog. I don't have to put it on anyone. I could just use that as a combat trick. But am I beating the Oliphant if I do that? Maybe, but slowly. Am I beating Terra if I do that? And she's a 4/2, and there's no enchantments in play to copy. Yeah, I'm bouncing Fresh Start. I'm playing the Ultra Control role here. Is there any sequence of mana? Yes. Okay, so I think I want to put Fresh Start on Psychic Frog now, so I get the draws on my turn, and then we can see what else I want to do. Okay, Fresh Start on Psychic Frog. Draw. Brilliant Wings is a good one. Draw. Iganjo kills the Oliphant. All right, we're in business. I'll play this Plains and pass the turn. I'm going to discard. These are the same thing. They're both a green fetch land. Off-color green fetch land. Oh, I have 2 protection spells that draw cards. I have a removal spell. I think I have to tap out to stabilize here. Oliphant can buff Psychic Frog. No, that is -1,000,000 power. That doesn't matter. +2/+0 and trample. Well, I did target Psychic Frog with that. That's interesting. Who's attacking who? These 2 are on the Planeswalker. This one's on me. Okay, I'm gonna Iganjo Oliphant, and blocking Psychic Frog removes one of my enchantments from play, but it also removes Psychic Frog from play, which I am okay with. All right, shields are currently down, but I think that was the best way to navigate that turn. I just have to hope that they don't jam some non-creature spell that kills me right now. 1 card left in hand. Terra's in play and tapped. It's an important turn to not die. Okay, they passed. What a crazy match this is. Tameo. Well, I'm going to play this because she's going to flip instantly. That is... Oh, no. That is not what I want to do. Can I undo that? Okay, I can. All right. I tapped the wrong land. I would like Tameo. And then I'm going to put Brilliant Wings on Core Spirit Dancer, because that one gets bigger the more stuff that's on it specifically. There goes Tameo flipping. Plus Tameo. Cartouche is some flying. It's also a blue card, if I want that. They do have a lot of stats in play still. Auras still draw me cards, but I like all my auras right where they are. Okay, I'm going to play Avacyn's Pilgrim as a blocker. I am not going to move my awesome thing onto it. I'll play my land because that gives me the most tricks. And I'll start to push damage back their way. I wish I had room to deploy the Sylvan Library, but I don't. I'll probably just invest their turn killing Tamiyo here. Yep, that all has to just be fine. It'll land one card in hand. I'll get my other Surveil here, the Hedge Maze. Wash away, hell yeah. That lets me beat Terra, and I'm well into the place where I can cleave it. It's just counterspell at this point. Okay, Sylvan Library draws a card off of Tuvasa. Breeding Pool, that might be useful. I have 1, 2, 3 blue mana. I could make it 4. Okay, I am going to Cartouche here, tapping one of my blue. I don't think I need 2 counterspells in a turn, the way this game's been going. Oh, I get to fight. Hell yeah. Okay. I'm going to kill Metamorphosis Fanatic while making my creature even bigger. Get that out of here. And Arcane Flight, I can deploy. Yeah, I even have the Avacyn's Pilgrim still up. This gives me counterspell plus 10, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Oh, I could push lethal here. I could push lethal with a counterspell still up. Yeah, that sounds like the way to do it. A Shard Mage Rescue. 13, this is exactly lethal, and I have counterspell. Leave back Avacyn's Pilgrim. Oh yeah, oh, what a battle. When I queued this up, I thought, I'm playing Bogels, this will be a quick league, but multiple 50-minute matches later, boy am I wrong, on to the final round. We're a few rounds into the video. If you're still here and having fun, remember to hit that subscribe button. And if you want to play what I'm playing, use code BOSH for 5% off your order at toamagic.com. Eternal lives here. I'm on the draw in the final round, positive record on the line, with Hidetsugu and Kiri. 5/4 flying for 5. When it enters, draw 3, put 2 cards in your hand on top of your library. Brainstorm, I recognize that effect. When this dies, exile the top card of your library. Target opponent loses life equal to its mana value. If it is instant or sorcery, you may cast it without paying its mana value. Okay, so it's kind of Mind's Desire, kind of Dark Confidant, kind of Brainstorm, and also just a giant dragon. Understood. Okay, this hand has access to an invisible stalker, but no green. I'm going to have to mulligan this. Oh, the Island Sanctuary has appeared, but in a matchup where it's not good, and also in a spot where it's not helpful. Okay. Do I want to bogle them out? Do I want to get Teferi going? Teferi just feels like it would be really good against whatever they're doing over there, blue-black. I could dump a land because I have Utopia Sprawl. I have to put 2 of these back, though. Ugh. All right. I think I'm going to go Glade Cover Scout and Arcane Flight back and try to just draw an enchantment. Like, have Teferi, which just seems like a good card in the matchup, plus good mana, and figure it out from there. Ooh, good mana. Good mana confirmed. I would like a Tropical Island. That sounds good. Tropical Island, Wild Growth this, and pass. There's a lot of 2-mana counterspells in this format. I think I'm just going to pass here. I don't love playing Draw Go versus the Dimir deck, but I'm not going to just let my commander get casually mana leaked or force spiked. Tech Edge, played around it. Okay, so if I Utopia Sprawl this Tropical Island, this Tech Edge becomes insane the next time I draw a land. I could also just... Yeah, I'm going to try for Teferi. This card's just so good if it resolves. I've at least played around Force Spike. They have to have a real counterspell here, and it can only be like a Mana Leak or Quench variant because they don't have double blue. Oh, Brainstorm in response. It has to be Force Negation now. That got a lot worse for them, pretty fast. We're in. Okay. I could minus to draw a card right away. I think I want to cash out my card draw, because if they have removal for Teferi, that sucks. I mark it. Sacrifice a creature. Setting up the combo with the commander. I get it. Okay. Played that one correctly. Pat myself on the back. Glade Cover Scout. Interesting. Okay. This lets me advance the board without dumping out my commander. I'm trying to be super annoying here. Change the equation. Counter target spell with mana value 2 or less. Okay. Well, all right. And now I'll play my commander, though it's still into removal, but it's at least around counter. And it turned out Teferi was actually the perfect card to cast that changed the equation. It's a non-red or green spell that costs more than 2. All right, that's dead. I would like it in the command zone, please. Can I draw a land to redeploy it? But a land turns on Tech Edge. Cryptomancer. All right, I'm going to Utopia Sprawl here. Just make that Tech Edge fucking devastating. Just kill me. Okay, I have to pick a color. This is going to be white, I think. Yeah, okay. All right, pass the turn. Hope they don't ever shot in port. I've gotten 2/2-for-1 so far, because my commander was not a card when it arrived, and they spent a card from hand, and Teferi drew a card, then they killed it. Birds of Paradise. Man, we're making a game out of this. I'll play Birds of Paradise. Perfectly navigating the tectonic edge. Hitotsugu and Carry is scary, though, because the high market is there. They could 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, play it, high market it. Whatever it is they're building towards, it's live. It could happen. Mystic Confluence. All right, draw 3 cards. Sure. Pretty good. Pretty good. Preordain. Top, bottom. Found a blue. Otawara. I can never, ever play that. Okay, I will play my commander and hope that Royal Treatment is enough to protect it. Counterspell blows me out. Bummer. Literal counterspell for the full insult. Yes, I'd like this back in the command zone. We'll get back to work. Now I don't know how I actually win this game. Yeah, I could have fetched Basic Forest on turn 1, and Tectonic Edge would not be an issue. All right, it looks like it's combo time. Brainstorm happens. I could go in one more time on my commander, tap out, lose 3 mana, and just hope it sticks. I don't see another plan. All right. This sucks, and it was avoidable. No one to blame but myself. If I just fetch differently. We've only played against Tectonic Edge every match this round. All right. I've seen enough. GG. But I was not able to get up under them. Seems like resolving a hexproof creature is going to be a big deal here. This hand is not good enough. The mana's not there. Okay. I will keep this one and put... It's probably Static Prison. Though, what does Stern Scolding get against their deck? I didn't really see any other creatures. All right, I'm actually putting Stern Scolding to the bottom. Temple Garden, get that in. This Mistrized Village is sweet. It would be cool if I could hit enough land drops to deliver it on time. Oh, well, look at you with your own Mistrized Village. Days. Okay, well, that's interesting. Mistrized Village does not cast my commander here. I need another land anyway. Swamp from Oppo. Mistrized Village doesn't cast any spells. And I can make Days uncounterable. All right, deck, very important moment to do something. Shit. I don't think I could just play this card into open mana against this deck. I need to find a window. Opponent's hitting land drops and I'm not. Bad news. Hey. Okay. I could make sure Light Pause resolves. All right. Pause can't be countered. My opponent does also play a ton of removal, but I'll at least turn off the half of their deck I can turn off. Destroy target creature with mana value 2 or less. All right, that works. It's all a distraction on the way to Tuvasa, plus protect it with quick reflexes. Jam your commander. Jam your commander. Oh, baby. Give me that. Don't daze me back. Don't do it. Oh, yeah. Okay, right now, drawing a green source would be huge. That would let me stick my commander and protect it. Oh, no, I should have been more specific. Okay, it's fine. I will Surveil 1. I do not want Gilded Goose. And I think I am still gonna jam this, because the subgame here is, do you have removal or do you have counter? And this plays around counter, and by waiting, I'd be trying to set up Mistrized Village to play around counter. And to play around both, I would need mana to activate Mistrized Village, cast my commander, and then also hold up quick reflexes. When this dies, you may exile and put 3 time counters on it. If you do, exile up to 1 target creature and put 3 time counters on it. Oh my god. All right. There's a lot of words on that shit. Okay, Misty Rainforest. And I am going to pass. Now I have enough lands and enough selection that I could see a world where I actually get to do the thing I was describing. This concierge. And my opponent's deck looks like one that it could play Back to Basics or Harbinger of the Seas. And I don't know enough to say that they don't have those cards. Lush Portico. Get in here. Tamiyo. That card is high enough impact versus decks like this. I play Eternal formats. I know about this shit. All right, how many spells am I going to cast this turn? Not that many. Not enough to not make Tamiyo uncounterable. It's uncounterable and I can protect it. Subtlety. Yeah, I mean, that works. I'm going to put her on the bottom. She's not that good. Okay, pass the turn. Now I'm just getting tempoed out. Okay, I'm going to enchant my island with Wild Growth. I could Static Prison Subtlety just to take some pressure off. I think I should do that. And they'll get it back eventually, but I would like to be alive a little longer. It's awkward that their best creature also has an ETB ability, because now they can do stuff like bounce Static Prison in response to me casting my commander, and then they get to subtlety it. I drew a land. Okay. Activate Misterize. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Uncounterable. Protect it. The line is there. We've ground our way up. And all this to get my commander into play. And an Edict still kills it. It didn't bounce my Static Prison for the full insult. I'm glad for that. Consult the star charts. This looks for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Looks at 5 cards and you get to keep 2 because they kicked it. Played Zoff Bloodbog. That is a original MDFC. Longabye can't be countered. I don't plan on countering it. Fetch my Savannah. Quick Reflexes, which is also uncounterable by most normal means. Hexproof. This means, unless they have an Edict, I am going to get a turn where I can, or at least a window, even if they kill her in my upkeep, I can flash and Eaten by Piranhas. God damn it. All right. Tough guy. I get it. You're a blue-black control deck. And I'm getting, this thing's done, what, 10 damage by now? The max. Oh, shit. I misclicked. I meant to keep that for another turn. Well, that sucks. Okay. I'm mostly dead anyway, but I did mean to keep that. Okay. Brutal. There it is. Tuvasa the Sunlit, a deck that I assessed as Bogels by looking at the deck list, and there is a bit of that going on, but it's also kind of Bant control, like Bant Enchantress. Like, that's obviously a Bant Enchantress deck. Literally just read Tuvasa and you know that. But there is some... I was impressed by the grindy side of it more than I was the Bogle side of it. And the games that I lost were really ones where either my mana fell apart by being attacked, like that Tectonic Edge from my opponent. I could have just fetched a basic to play around that, and maybe with more format knowledge, like if I played more Dual Commander, I would have thought of that. Or that game where I kept 2 mana, got mana tithed, and then also had a mana destroyed while missing land drops on a 3 or 4 looks. That's just magic. The deck is sweet though. If you like the Bant colors, and I do, and if you like drawing cards, and I do, this is a good time. AATJ Suited, thank you for unwillingly sharing your deck. Hopefully you appreciate this run. I had fun with it. Thanks for posting it where I could look at it. Everyone, thanks for watching. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe. Check out the Patreon to support the channel. I'll see you next time.